So, hi everybody, I'm Marie.Jenkins from Advance Your Wellbeing, and today this is our podcast, The Secret Diary of Marie.Jenkins 47 Plus, and we're interviewing Nicolas Speeckaert. Hi Nicolas, how are you?
Yeah, I'm great. Thank you very much. I'm very pleased to be here today with you.
Yes, and where are you based, Nicolas?
So I'm currently sitting in Luxembourg. So this great country in Europe that is a fabulous place to live in. And so I currently live here. I'm not actually born from Luxembourg. I'm a Belgium citizen, but it's close by countries, and Luxembourg tends to be a very friendly country, business friendly, I would say. And therefore, we have our headquarters here, but we sell across the world. But I might be sharing more about this. But today I'm sitting in Luxembourg, and it's fairly sunny, so I'm very happy. You know,
Fantastic, and
every,
thank
every
you for joining us.
yeah, I'm very pleased to be among you today.
So, uh, Nicolas, tell us who you are and what is it that you do?
So yes, my name is Nicolas Speeckaert. I am the co-founder and managing director at Skeeled. Skeeled is a talent acquisition or predictive talent acquisition software helping companies hire the best and greatest people, but certainly people that are going to feel engaged and motivated in their work. I mean, humans are fairly complex individuals, and we help companies understanding much more about people in order to make better hiring decisions. So I'm, as I said, one of the co-founder, but my day-to-day responsibilities are more on the sales side, customer success side. We love to have happy customers and customers that are staying extremely long with us because they feel that it's not like a buy and buy or purchase relationship. It's really like a long-term relationship. And I also have the privilege to overview product and the engineering team. On the personal side, I'm a tech passionate. So I always, we're so passionate about innovative technologies. And so I'm very happy to be where I am at today.
Fantastic. I mean, there's an app. Only yesterday I was speaking to somebody about this war on talents. Somebody called it yesterday, because companies in today's sort of technological age are really sort of trying to find the very best talent out there. So I'm interested to learn more about how skills can help people attract those very best talents within their organisations. But before we find out more about that, can you tell me a bit more about your career and what brought you to start Skeeled?
So I'm still fairly young, but not too young either. But funny enough, to start with education, I studied in both London and Barcelona. I hold a master's degree in international business from the ADA Business School in Spain. I lived many years in the UK. Unfortunately, I lost a bit the accent. When I went to boarding school, I really had this accent, but now it's a bit more French accent. So you use it when you don't practice every day. So Skilled is my first job. I only did some internship prior to this. We started Skilled out of a university project. So while we needed to apply ourselves for jobs, we felt that the experience on the candidate side were really terrible. And later, and funny enough, we discovered that the experience on the recruiter side was not great either. And so the information they were holding on candidates and what they were able to see on their applicant tracking system, which is more the legacy types of system, were super limited. So at the very beginning of Skilled, what we wanted to do, and so out of university project, we submitted the idea. We were the only group that did an intern, well, an entrepreneurial project, bringing our own idea to the university, and they accepted. And the enthusiasm around what we built with the team was so great that we decided to actually launch it. But at the very beginning, we said, okay, we need to create a platform that will operate the perfect match between organizations and candidates based not only on the CVs, but also personality and much more information that we can have and candidate can share on themselves. But we said, okay, it's going to be much more, much too costly. So we said, okay, we're going to focus on a B2B solution. So this is how we started building a tool that was going to be focusing on candidate experience, but also help recruiters hire the people not only based on their CVs, but also soft skills, structured interviews, and making sure that companies would hire top performing employees. And how we came to understand this is when we discovered that top performers are up to 800% more productive, and companies at depth of recruiting deliver up to 3.5 times the revenue growth and 2 times the profit margin than their less capable peer. And those are studies, I mean, both done by McKinsey and the BCG. We also discovered that recruitment is the number one economic influence of all HR functions.
Yeah.
And when we saw that, we said, okay, this is what we have to do. This is how we can help the industry, and how we want to do things differently.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I completely understand that. I mean, again, I was reading a report the other day, and although the pandemic has been quite devastating for some industries, in others, they're thriving and actually looking at im improving their talent pool and actually recruiting, which is a real positive thought. But I think it's vital, isn't it, to actually recruit the right people for the right roles, matching both soft skills and competencies and knowledge to the role, so that you've got a whole combination of skills there to make those roles and hopefully businesses more successful.
you're preaching a convinced person. No, I'm very convinced, but I believe it's important for companies, but it's also as important for the candidates. So it's really like a win-win. The
Yeah,
candidates is finding the right role will be so engaged and thriving in his role, and the companies will benefit great performance, but also much more if the candidate is engaged and happy in the role he's doing. So it's really like win-win-win, because the candidate is winning, the recruiter is winning, and the company is winning.
absolutely. I completely agree. Completely agree. So I just mentioned there about the pandemic, and we're having some real positive news now as people are hopefully coming out of lockdown, and we've got a new roadmap here in the UK. Um, but what do you believe to be the biggest opportunity for businesses then post COVID in terms of specifically talent acquisition?
Um, First thing first, I think the new comfort with remote working will broaden employers' talent pool, which also allows for greater access to candidates from uh, groups that you didn't think could work for you before, and talent will be more reachable. Of course, remote working and the fact that you can have someone working in the north of England, and working for a company based in London is just extraordinary if you think about it. Obviously, it requires us to change a bit, this paradigm of being in the office and meeting the people, but much more companies are willing to invest in talent that are not just close to them, or even give them much more flexibility. So you can say, okay, someone can work 1 day per week at the office, and the rest of the time they can work very efficiently from home. So it's just impressive. And one of the greatest thing that we are getting out of this COVID is, because we needed to do it so fast, and we had no choice. Every company needed to experiment and actually realize the benefits on
Absolutely.
remote working. So
To-
that
to- Totally agree there. I think what it will require is for organisations to revisit their key performance indicators as well. And with people working remotely, look at how they can set more objective based performance indicators to sort of measure the success of remote working. But yeah, it's a fantastic opportunity. We're speaking today, and you're in Luxembourg, and I'm here in
exactly.
Worcestershire, so it works.
Exactly. I mean, completely. And you know, for me, the only thing that still needs to change is the way working hours are organized, and especially for some roles. I mean, the 9 to 5 is not so relevant anymore. So companies should strive to have more flexibility on their working hours, making sure that, for example, in the middle of the day, if you want to stop for 2 hours, do sports, do the shopping, and then come back and work, and you work maybe slightly later, because anyway, you don't have to have this 1 hour commute that we
Yeah.
used to have. It's for me, it's the right way to make this a long sustainable investment for people. You don't really want to reproduce exactly what has happened in the office at home. But it's just going to be some experimentation, and so great to have this opportunity for many organizations.
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree. It's well, we would call it agile working when you've got that opportunity to look at, because flexible working for me is different from agile working. So a lot of companies will have flexibility policies whereby people apply to perhaps change their working hours to part time, for example. But now it's actually giving employees and employers opportunities to introduce new agile working strategies to their core business offer. And I think that, in relation to talent acquisition, has got to be a real positive.
Definitely,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah, and
On the other side, I mean, technology innovation will for sure continue to change how talent acquisition is done, and how it's helping engaging with candidates. Um, Obviously, due to COVID, companies have taken months to do what they should have taken years to do without COVID, of digitalizations, and therefore, more than ever, we see the importance of being equipped with the right technology, and this can really be game changing for organization, and make this as a competitive advantage in running their day-to-day operations. And so things that might sounded nice to have in the past are actually must have now, and the benefits is that many organizations have realized this thanks to COVID. So
I
that's
completely agree. And like we just touched on about, companies now being looking at what talent they need in their organization, and looking at, ramping up their hiring. What's your view on that?
yeah. I mean, the great thing is, I mean, we hope we will be out of COVID quite soon, and you guys in the UK are quite lucky in a sense. I mean, obviously, no one is lucky in this situation, but I mean, the level of vaccination that is going on is fairly fast compared to other European countries, and so I suspect also things to improve dramatically in the next coming months. I mean, not weeks, but months, and really allowing much more people to also find the relevant jobs, and companies also being confident enough that they can hire and sustain that growth, because we will be out of COVID. But it's going in the right way.
It absolutely is. Absolutely is. And recruiters, do you think they're going to expand their thoughts on what skill sets they need then for the future?
I certainly hope. I certainly hope. Upskilling, reskilling, making sure that people are constantly evolving in what they are doing is critical. The LMS, so learning and development, has boomed during COVID times. And so I truly believe that more than ever we understand how flexible we need to be on this upskilling, and making sure that we never stop learning and bringing benefits to our organizations
Yeah.
thanks to that. And technology can help. I mean, you can do any types of training without having to leave the comfort of your home, which is pretty extraordinary if you think about it. And so I also believe that companies should really dedicate enough time and enough resources to make sure that their people can evolve and bringing more to their business.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so
I think Skeeled, and having those certain questions as part of the Skeeled platform, you can. I mean, I had a demonstration of the fantastic platform the other day from your colleague Jordan Marsh. Um, and he did a really great example of showing me how basically I can match what I want from my recruits and have those questions and part of the assessments built into Skilled to help inform me. But could you give me some examples then, some sort of recent case studies that Skilled have carried out?
Sure. I mean, we work with companies in numerous countries, so not only Luxembourg, but in many European countries and even beyond. So what we are extremely proud of is obviously working with companies and organizations that have been in the front face of the COVID pandemic. So one is CHU Namur, which is the largest private employer in the province of Namur in Belgium. It's a hospital, so a university hospital, whose main mission are research, teaching, care services for the population. Interesting enough, the CHU USL Namur started using Skilled at the very beginning of February 2020, and by the same time, the World Health Organization declared that the coronavirus outbreak was a public health emergency and an international concern. So what has happened is after months of usage, they have been able to carry on the recruitment in the most effective way by using Skilled and ensuring that the protection of the candidates' data in accordance to GDPR standard were up to the right level. So candidates were not going into mailboxes or Excel files. Everything was safe and secure into the platform. And since they started using Skilled, the recruiters and the hiring managers started to also save time in sorting applications, especially thanks to AI. I can talk more about this, and also gain more information about candidates through personality assessment, but also video interviews, and the exclusion factor questions, all of which allow to narrow down the best profile on the talent pipeline and engage talent faster. Also, the direct managers took part and are taking part of the recruitment process, allowing for collaboration in the hiring decisions to be made. So you really see a case there where an organization that was working slightly differently in the past has managed to cope very well in this COVID time thanks to Skilled and learn much more about the candidates. So improve quality higher, but also save time and making sure that um, they were able to work effectively remotely as well, because we have talked to many hospitals during the COVID time, and some of them needed to be working at the hospital because they didn't have the right system in place.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah,
I mean, frontline workers here in the UK, it's very much been on our news, and obviously anything that can help sort of keep their staff, find the staff they need to carry out such vital work is really important. If people want to find out a bit more about that particular case study, am I right in thinking you've wrote a blog?
yeah. I mean, on our website there is a customer section, and so we do a lot of videos, testimonial, blog posts about those use cases. So you can not only see the video but also read more about this specific case study. Again, as I said, I mean, we're very proud about helping those types of organization, making sure that they just work effectively, and hiring in the health sector was more important than ever. I mean, we had a major problem in the hospitals where most of them were, overwhelmed, I can say. And so making sure that the platform was able to help them hire, making sure that, they were up and running at any time, is very comforting for me and very comforting for this hospital.
Yeah, yeah. I know that there's a number of different case studies on your website, so we'll give the details onto the Full Skilled website at the end. But you mentioned your sort of passion is around technology, and I'm also really passionate about it too. In relation to artificial intelligence, then. Um, so I've spoken and interviewed a guy called Chris Lunt from VoiceScape, and basically they help improve communications with customers of housing associations to sort of try and get out there and make sure that they're communicating better with customers, and they're using technology with the VoiceScape technology to do just that. But in relation to AI and Skeeled, how do you think AI can play more of a part in future um, ways of working in relation to work processes?
Okay. So through AI, Skill aims to empower recruiters with the benefit of AI without losing the value of human touch. I mean, recruiters and recruitment is all about humans. So the way we are doing it is, Skill employs AI in different parts of the recruitment process through tools like pre-screening, ranking of applicants, but also internal talent pool and feedback to the recruiters. Um, but also other AI-based features in development include, a tool that helps disambiguity of the job description before they are actually published. And the benefits of AI are multiple. So you have the improved quality hire, making sure that you make the relevant, unbiased or as much as possible unbiased
Yeah.
select and decision. You can increase productivity level, save time to automate automation. Pardon. And access to relevant data. It's very important that the automation is helping in the first screening process, making sure that you focus on the most relevant applicant, and then walk down the list and making sure that you cover all the applications. So the artificial intelligence is set to become a vital part of the recruitment world, I believe, in the upcoming years, giving companies an edge when it comes to streamlining their processes and helping recruiters connecting to top talent faster. Um, Companies often say that people are their most valuable assets, but if that was true, companies would effectively evaluate if the recruitment processes produce good employees. However, a third of companies actually do so, and this is where technology can greatly help, because at the end of the recruitment process, you can evaluate whether you have made this great recruitment and use this data in order to make future predictions. So with Skilled, we really use this AI to provide hyper relevant information on candidates to make sure that companies are hiring those top performing employees by combining hard skills, CVs, soft skills, personality, motivation, cognitive ability, and run this powerful AI algorithm to help companies make better hiring decisions. And as I said, really removing biases in the recruitment process.
Well, and also, as well as bias, also helping companies um, comply with legislation as well in relation to, there's discrimination, employment law, and all of that kind of thing. So all of that can absolutely be built in as well as bias.
Of course, diversity and inclusion is extremely important. I mean, there's so much going on and so much discussion around that topic, and solutions like ours can really help into this. And so, yes, correct. I mean, you want to have a diverse workforce, because we know that if you have a diverse workforce, you can improve the productivity and the efficiency of the organization dramatically. And so it's very important. People are very inclined to biases, so cognitive biases or confirmation biases. And therefore, with the help of technology, you can reduce those biases and making sure that you hire a more diverse workforce. So
Yeah.
yes, I 100% agree.
Yeah, I totally agree. And that's where innovation comes in, isn't it? When you're getting people with different views and different ideas from a diverse background, and yeah, that's where all the richness of ideas comes in. I really enjoy that sort of topic. So yeah, thanks very much for that. But I want to know a bit more about you, Nicholas. So um, we've talked a lot about Skeeled today, and your sort of ideas about how you come to develop the platform. But for you, working in that business, what's the sort of most rewarding thing for you, would you say? And where's this passion come from?
Oh, I mean the passion around technology and the fact that you're doing something that is meaningful and is truly helping organization is not transactional. Is really providing added value, tremendous added value to organizations. And for me, what I'm most proud of and what is the most rewarding is probably working with companies, in particular, active in the health sector. And having been able to help them digitalize their processes and therefore safely work from home, where many other institutions that didn't make the decision soon enough had to work from the office. And I'm very proud to have and to help any organization out there, because we have this close relationship with any company that we work with. We are very customer centric organization, because when you start out of nothing, the people that trust you is so valuable, and we feel very responsible about that trust that companies are putting in our hands. So yes, and a recent case as well is we have onboarded a governmental organization that are focused on building technologies of the future, and also help space organizations building the future of space. And it's highly rewarding when you work with high tech organization, and you can contribute in making sure that they get the best possible engineers and those top talents in order to deliver on their ambitious goals.
Yeah.
That's super rewarding. So yeah,
I
it's
completely agree. I mean, technology should be a tool for us to all be living happier and healthier lifestyles and getting that balance back. So I think technology is fantastic as long as it's in the right context and
yeah.
enabling us as humans to get more fulfilled lifestyles. And something like Skilled, because this is going out in our housing week, which I'm hoping we've got some HR professionals listening in. um, I would just say take a opportunity to have a demonstration of the platform and see for yourself, because although you've done a lot within the health sector to this point, there's a huge amount of opportunity here, I believe, to go across various different industries. Anybody who's actually looking to sort of do their whole talent acquisition within their organisation. So yeah, it's fantastic. So Nicholas, one final question because we've covered so much today. Can you share with me something about who inspires you or who inspired you to start Skilled, or who out there in industry do you think you'd like to emulate, or sort of who inspires you?
I mean, I'm someone that is extremely curious. Generally, I'm inspired by many people. There's not one that is coming out specifically, but I try to look at the greatest points and strong point and strength of the people, and then try to see how this can help me. But I get also my inspiration by my Kindle. Funny enough, I really, it's an amazing device, and I take it almost every time with me. I don't read it every day, but when I have time, I do. I spend a lot of time reading on various topics to make sure that I progress in my reflection and increase my knowledge, especially on my holidays. This is probably the moment to get the most creative ideas, right?
Absolutely, and knowledge is certainly is power. So, where was your most recent holiday, Nicholas?
Yeah, well, unfortunately, in these hard times, holidays are quite far. But the last time I went to Greece, I visited couple of islands. It was just great because you had the sunny weather, the sea there, and it was just amazing,
Yeah,
so.
well, and that's something we're all looking forward to. I think there's
Right.
been a lot on the news about people hoping with the roadmap out of this pandemic that people will be booking their holidays. And I've got Neil Hall, our travel counsellor, on speed dial on my phone. Well, it's been an absolute delight to speak to you today, Nicholas, and thank you for sharing so much information around Skilled. It really does sound like a fantastic platform, and something that, I'd urge HR professionals to sort of just take a look and decide for themselves. But how's the best way for people to find out more, Nicholas?
So, I mean, LinkedIn is one great way. So, reaching out to me or reaching out to people from my team is one great way to reach out to us. Our website, I mean, there's very comprehensive information. There's a new version coming out soon. We're
Ah,
always to get the most relevant content on this website, but we can find much more information. And then if there's any need for additional details, so you can reach out to us on our website and you will be contacted back, and then we can give you more explanation, more detailed presentations, and even at a later stage a demo of the tool if it's needed, in order to make sure that this is relevant for your use case. I mean, you said it, we don't only work with the health sector, we work with any organization out there. We're sector agnostic, and but what we always do is making sure that the use case is there for us to collaborate effectively with each other, and so that's the most important. And we actually validate that each time with the organization, making sure that we have this long-term collaboration going on.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And that's how you can learn and improve your technologies, which will in turn help improve the partners and stakeholders that you work with. It's been an absolute joy, Nicholas. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Mary. It was great talking to you. Thank you for the time, and wishing you the best.
Thank you, and to you.